Hello there.
Well, hello there, good sirs, and welcome to another live stream. We are joined here by Art by AK. Say hi.
Hello there, everyone.
All right, as well as Jedi Knight, just like last time, as well as someone new who is Sci-Fi
Unchained.
Unchained.
Yeah, he has a podcast, and we linked everything in the description. We actually did a podcast with him earlier. So, yeah, today we're going to talk about the 4th episode of The Bad Batch and maybe some other things in between with our friends here. So, yeah, you guys want to say hi, maybe?
Hello there, old friends.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, that's a nice voice, honestly.
Yes.
Do you guys maybe want to say what you do before we begin?
Sure, I'll go first. So I run a science fiction podcast. Really, it's a anything I want to talk about podcast, which is the best kind. Mostly science fiction, Star Wars, Trek, ships, zombies. Talk a lot about zombies. I did a whole, I think, 10 episodes about fleet compositions and what I would use from varying sci-fi properties. I talked to people like our good friends at the Scoundrels Cantina about different sci-fi, this, that, or the other rings. Yeah, it's pretty much whatever I want to do, and it's pretty nice. I like it.
Okay. So next up, Jedi Knight. You want to say what you do? Your project, maybe?
Well, as some of you have heard in one of the past streams, I was a little unsatisfied with the way Star Wars The High Republic came out because I genuinely wanted it, but I wasn't happy with how they did it. So I decided to take matters into my own hands and just make something that's for everybody. Like, I'm using some of the pre-existing Disney canon characters from it, like Avar Kriss, Stellan Gios, and Elzar Mann, for example, and just trying to make them a little bit more three-dimensional and stuff like that, and just make the world a little different, that kind of stuff. So that's pretty much what I'm trying to do. Hopefully one day I can get it off the ground.
Nice. Okay, and finally we have Art by AK.
The best for last, of course.
Yep, that's true.
I mean, I do all sorts of things from traditional drawings to making books to Photoshop, photo manipulation, concept art, everything. And lately I'm focusing on my own book. I'm actually making a graphic novel. So that'll be fun.
What's it about?
Crime drama.
Impressive.
Thank you.
Okay, so
all right. Now that we got
basically-
that out of the way, let's go ahead and Luke, do you want to go ahead and share the screen? And we'll start over with the review.
Yeah.
All right, perfect.
You guys can start off while I get it ready. Like, what did you guys think of the 4th episode? Or generally, we haven't talked to Logan before. What did you think about the first 3 episodes? What are your thoughts on the series so far?
Right. So I think probably the biggest cornerstone of the show, and it's becoming very evident, is exactly how well written it is, and how the writers and Dave Filoni and everyone, how they're taking examples and inspirations from previous EU material, like the Republic Commando novels and the Kaminoan Rebellion against the Empire in the early days. So the very first episode was everything I wanted. It was everything I expected out of and I also love how Star Wars Lucasfilm was like, hey, you want a animated Star Wars movie just off the cuff? Here you go. Take it. And I'm a huge lover of both of the iterations of the Clone Wars. I love the 3D style of animation. I can't stand the Rebels style of animation, so I'm very, very thankful that we steered back into the more edged and shadowed stylization that we got in the latter episodes of the last Clone Wars season for the Bad Batch. This show is dark, like already. It's incredibly dark. And I think they did a really good job at establishing two distinct storylines, one with the Batch and one with Crosshair, and the tension between the burgeoning Empire and the Kaminoans. I think they're displaying the story very well so far. And right off the bat, we get a ton of faces that we already knew. I'm not sure if that's for the fans of the Clone Wars benefit. Like we've already gotten Saw Gerrera, Cut LaQuaine, and Tarkin, and now in this latest episode, spoilers ahead, we get Fennec Shand. So I'm not quite sure if that's necessarily needed. Like, we don't need a whole bunch of fan service. The show's good on its own. So whereas the fan service in other properties may be what keeps the show up, what props it up and what keeps it going, the fan service here is more like sprinkles on an already well-established cupcake. Also, Fennec Shand, they tried so hard to make her look like a young Ming-Na Wen, and I can't tell if they succeeded or not. And I'm kind of glad they kept the helmet on her for the majority of the episode.
Yeah, I think that part was a little bit difficult. Like, you don't know if she was either young or old Fennec, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 28 years have passed since the Bad Batch, which is based in 19 BBY, up until 9 ABY, which is when you see the Mandalorian. So, and honestly, when you look at the actress, she hasn't aged a day for the last 20 years.
Nope.
So I guess it's kind of accurate.
She is 58 years old and still that darn attractive. I don't understand.
True. Agreed.
Honestly, I think the good thing about Fennec is that she's not like she's not forced into any stories. She actually feels like she's naturally written in, and she does make a really good bounty hunter.
Yes, I agree. Because she comes in exactly as she is. She's a bounty hunter. We don't get any sort of, oh, she had a tragic backstory, or oh, she was the daughter of some disgruntled Republic noble that didn't want to turn Imperial, so she went rogue or whatever. None of this convoluted stuff. No. She's a true blue bounty hunter. That's what we get. And we see her right out of the gate be a pretty stinking good bounty hunter, too.
Yeah, she really knows how to get the job done, and it's kind of scary. We haven't even seen most of her methods yet.
And honestly, when you look at it at the end of the episode, the method wasn't really that bad and was surprising. She didn't kill the guy. She simply paid him to continue to do, his service to her, basically. Which is something we haven't seen before. They usually simply, tie in loose ends.
Mm-hmm. But this was very professional, so.
It seemed professional. I mean, honestly, when I saw in the Bad Batch trailer that they're going to bring it back for the series, I wasn't all for it, because for some reason I have a disdain for the Mandalorian generally, and I simply wouldn't want to mix anything from that era into, technically, I mean, it's not the Clone Wars era anymore; it's the Dark Times era, basically. But the prequel times. But for some reason, it was very off to me. But I think they pulled it off really well in this episode. I enjoyed it, actually, to my surprise.
This show is doing a really good job of very subtly laying out a whole bunch of explanation devices. Like in The Mandalorian, I had no idea what chain codes were. I was like, chain code? What? How can people find Baby Yoda with this little device that looks like a steampunk walkie-talkie? Like, how does that work? It's like, oh, well, this show's kind of explaining that, as the chain codes are the imperial version of a social security number. Pretty much. And it lets you find people wherever you are. So I imagine they would probably do a little bit more to explain that in the future. Maybe a future episode where maybe there's a biological element to the chain code where that number is associated with your biological marker. And that's how they can track everybody in the galaxy. And Tech dropping just, hey, I'm working on a scanner that can detect the chip so we can remove it from everybody. That's a really big piece of information that they just kind of threw at us in the beginning of the previous episode, because that means, oh, okay, they're going to meet up with Wolf and Gregor and probably Rex and help get the chips out of those two guys. And maybe they'll reach back out to Cut LaQuain and get the chip out of him. Or maybe it'll be kind of like how Cal Scarata rounded up a whole bunch of Commando and Null Arc clones and gave them a home, and they hid out on Mandalore. So just the small little details that they shave off, just that they're not presented as really big plot points, but they kind of are.
Especially for us Star Wars fans who know the bigger picture of the era we're in right now. Like, for example, the subtle mentions, the conversations between the Kaminoans, for example. That's something I personally really enjoy. And I think we all know where that's leading to. The Battlefront 2 Camino Rebellion. And stuff like that, Art by AK, you there, mate?
I'm here. I'm waiting for my turn.
Wanna go on with it?
Let's give the seats to Jedi Knight.
Oh, to Jedi Knight. Okay.
Yep.
I'm just gonna stop moving this so others
sure.
can see where we're at.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, just gonna be skipping some. Okay. Who wants to go next? Opinions on this episode, or generally the first four?
I think this episode is probably, how do I put this? I think it's like a build-up episode where you're kind of just starting to raise the stakes a little more. Like, you have Crosshair, who's kind of about to chase after them, and then you have Fennec Shan, who's gonna come after them as well. And it's not gonna be the last we'll see of Fennec. I think she's probably gonna show up in the next episode, which is also where I think we're gonna see Rex too. So I guess we'll be on the lookout for that. But all in all, I'd say this episode is pretty good.
Actually, I think it was confirmed that she's going to be in 2 episodes in this season. Just so you know. So that's a sure thing for now.
Yeah.
So yeah, but does this episode feel like a filler for you guys?
No.
Well, compared to episode 1, every episode after it, like episode 2, episode 3, they all feel like a downgrade from episode 1. They start.
Sorry, I can't hear you very well.
Sorry. I was too far away. It feels like a downgrade from episode 1, just like every episode before. With episode 1, we got so much hype, things happening at the same time. It was just crazy. In episode 2, we had more like down to earth, talking about family and discovering all characters. In episode 3, we had one of the best scenes in Star Wars that we had in last, I can surely say, 15 years since Revenge of the Sith. Actually, even more. Actually, there's 16 years now, right? 16 years. And this episode is actually quite good of a, like Jedi Knight said, a build-up. But I just don't see it as a part of a bigger picture, except the part where they're talking who would send a bounty hunter after Omega. Only guesses that I have is Kevin Owens. No one else doesn't know about her, and I don't think Palpatine would actually care about her, except if she's not involved in some greater plan he has. But if she was, he would have royal guards or someone keeping eyes over her like 24/7. So
Mhm.
I want to know what will go behind the scenes, what's going on behind the scenes with the character and the idea. Why is she the one out of all of them? Like they're wanted by the Empire now. We know that by trailer and by Crosshair actually hunting them in episode 1. Okay, for them it would be actually more normal for them to see them on wanted posters, but for her, she's no one. Who would
Mhm.
want her? So that I think that was the main part of the episode, like to give us the fans the question to think about, to make our own theories about who wants her and for what.
You know, that's very interesting that you mentioned that. And by the way, guys, I think we can talk a bit more freely because it seems like we're literally taking turns. Regarding that, who is after her? Like, my first thought was, oh, maybe Tarkin's simply after the Bad Batch, but it doesn't make sense since at the end of the episode, they would have showed us who she was contacting, right? So I think that's a good theory regarding the Kaminoans being the ones who are after her for some reason.
Well, the thing is, it's not on Tarkin's level, you know.
It really isn't. Why would he care?
Exactly.
I think the big question is like, what is it that makes Omega so important? Like, what is she? Where did she come from? And what do they even want with her?
For that, I have two competing theories.
What's that?
One is that, well, Cut LaQuaine kind of dropped a little hint to it, right? He said the Kaminoans don't create without a purpose. All of the Bad Batch clones had a purpose. That's why they altered those specific traits in their DNA, right? So Omega Omega, that adorable Australian voice. She has a purpose, right? And it's a purpose unbeknownst, apparently to me, to the Empire, but it's this super secret scheme that the Kaminoans have. So to me, that means one of two things. That means they have either created some sort of force sensitive child somehow. Also, she's a clone, but they didn't necessarily say she's a Jango Fett clone. She most likely is an altered female version of a Jango Fett, but they didn't say she was a Fett clone. They just said she was a clone. So
it was actually confirmed. It was confirmed that she's a Fett clone, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the second theory would be that all of the traits that they hyped up in the other batch clones, they somehow made an amalgamation, and that is now her. So she's not necessarily force sensitive, but she has Hunter's heightened awareness and sensitivity to things. She has Crosshair's like expert marksman traits. That's how she's able to shoot a blaster for the very first time and hit Crosshair's gun out of his hands. She has Wrecker's tenacity and go getter kind of attitude. And that's how she's able to go after a energy dragon lizard and and just kind of wing it. And she was bred to be a research assistant, quote unquote, for Lama Su. So she also obviously has some sort of heightened brain power, right? She has some heightened mental capabilities like tech. So
yeah, that would make more sense, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she's
what
going to be.
you-
Yeah, go on. Sorry.
what you people actually think about the trailer footage where she's shown with the bow and arrow? I mean,
Oh,
laser
the Night
bow and arrow.
Sisters. The Night Sisters
Yeah.
weapon.
That's probably going to be adapted to her. So she can use a weapon and give him a hand as well. So,
And thank God it's not a Star Wars slingshot like Ezra had.
Yes, thank God.
yeah, I'm guessing this is like another take on Ezra's slingshot, but it's more,
Better.
adapted
Sure.
to. Yeah.
When we're on the topic of Ezra's slingshot, I think that was one of the things that really made me dislike his character in the first season. But I overall enjoyed the Rebels at the end of the day, overall the season. But still, I mean, the slingshot is, oh God. Why
It was so dumb. Star Wars is the equivalent to Space Texas. Like there's
Yep.
guns everywhere. There's any kind of look around. Go to Hondo Onaka, get something for cheap.
You
know?
walk into the cantina, you're just like pew 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 everywhere.
What do you think? Will we actually get Hando in this film?
Oh, we will.
Oh yeah.
Without a
I
doubt,
mean,
we will.
definitely. But if we
Yeah,
got
it is only a matter of time before we get to see him, and I can't wait for that moment. He is definitely one of my favorite characters.
Actually,
Agreed.
you know who I wonder could appear in this show since we're transitioning into the Empire, or we're already in the Empire?
Yeah. Who?
What if we actually end up seeing Moff Gideon?
wait,
Like a younger Moff Gideon.
Yeah, like a younger
we
version,
could.
without the dark saber, without the cape. I think because
Like an
Is he-
officer or something.
Yeah, I
like
guess
he
at that
starts out as
time
an
he
officer.
wouldn't. Yeah, exactly. I guess at that time he wouldn't really be a Moff. So
Yeah.
that's the guy from Mandalorian, right?
yes,
Yeah,
Honestly, I'd rather keep it away from the Mandalorian stuff. Maybe Krennic would be better, if you ask me.
You know what
oh
I'm
yeah, Krennic. Forgot about him.
What I'm kind of scared of is that they will take characters and things from things that just didn't work, like the Aftermath trilogy, the book trilogy. I really hope we don't see Gallius Rax or Ray Sloan. And so far, they've steered away from those kinds of characters because I think the Aftermath trilogy was pretty generally disliked.
Honestly, the only good character from the Aftermath trilogy would probably be Cobb Vanth.
Agreed.
And they
Cobb Vanth is
recognize
the only
that.
good one.
And they recognized that and brought him back for Mandalorian, which I thought was a nice tie-in, to be honest.
That was a great episode. That is my favorite episode of the. I mean, when you look at the Mandalorian series, they're all season 2 is relying on legacy characters to be better than season 1. And I think that the first episode on Tatooine with Cobb Vanth is basically the only episode that isn't relying on Boba Fett, Bo-Katan, Ahsoka, Luke Skywalker to be a good episode, and it ended up being great, if you ask me.
Honestly, if I may ask, what was so bad about Ray Sloan and Gallius Rax? Like, what made them bad? Or not really bad, but just like not worthy.
To me, they're characters that embody the current, or at least the earliest iterations of Disney's Star Wars failing at creating compelling characters and stories because of what they did. They purposefully made the Imperial remnant lose on purpose.
They actually remind me a bit of Emperor Neran. How do you say it in English? I don't know. The guy who actually burned down the Rome.
Nero.
Oh, Nero.
Yeah.
It was said. I think it was unknown if he burned down Rome.
Yeah, he
wasn't even there.
Burned down the Rome. He was one of the emperors of the Rome. He was a crazy person who did whatever he wanted. And these characters from Legacy, like Aftermath, it seems that they're trying to destroy the Empire in the same time. Like, what was the name of the plan? Palpatine is now to destroy everything after his death. and they're trying
Yeah,
to do that
Operation
but
Cinder.
poorly. Yeah, Operation Tinder.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Vardos, that's
But
what he was
they
trying to destroy.
they just
Yeah,
did so badly.
Now,
I think that
Honestly-
is one of the most stupid things that we've seen in canon, especially because it doesn't make any sense whatsoever, especially with Episode 9 now. It's idiotic beyond belief. Operation
Honestly,
Cinder.
Operation Cinder at first, I'm like, oh, maybe this could be a good way of giving the Empire a whole new fresh start. But when I look back on it now, I'm like, and looking at it in the grand scheme of things and the way they set up canon and all that, what was the point? You're basically just killing your own empire just so you can start one that's far less superior, at least I wouldn't say technologically wise, because their technology actually seemed like they were going for something, but in the grand scheme of things, I think they were just doing it simply for the fact that, oh, we need a new enemy, so let's write this off, something like that.
I think they had no plan, as they didn't have a plan for the sequels, and they simply, well, I can't say that they made it work because it doesn't work, doesn't make sense, but they were just winging it with all of it. And the Aftermath trilogy, I mean, what can you expect from Chuck Wendig? It's generally a not very well written book on its own, and when it comes to the overall story and how it ties in, I simply don't like it at all. At all.
Yeah.
There's a reason why I stick to things before Return of the Jedi. I'm really not interested in anything after it. It's leading to nothing. It's basically pointless.
the only good thing we got out of Operation Cinder was that one scene where Bill Burr is dealing with his PTSD and talking to an Imperial officer who also took part in Operation Cinder, and you can see all of the pain and trials Bill Burr's character's going through, like on his face, in a good 10 seconds before he pulls that trigger.
I can actually argue one of the best scenes during the operation is with Leia. It's in comic books where she actually goes to Naboo and enters the hangar where Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, and Maul fought for the first time. Actually, not for the first time, for the second time. When the doors open in the comic book, it says like she feels Darth Maul's presence and presence of the Sith Lord.
Yeah, that was okay as well.
I think that was, I mean, for me, it was the best scene in the operation, like not just in the game, comic books lore, but altogether.
My thing about Operation Cinder's practicality is the targeting of loyal Imperial worlds that quote unquote failed Palpatine makes absolutely no sense. You know who is supporting your enemies. You know it's the Mon Calamari, the Bothans. You know it's all of these different where your enemies have safe haven, and you have these giant planet destroying machines. Go to those planets.
Yeah, it's dumb.
Like, how have you not nuked Mon Calamari out of existence by now?
Yeah, especially with their history of being rebellious.
I think they actually did in the 5 years after the formation of Empire, when they
they actually went in the Legacy comics. The Darth Krayt actually tried to wipe out all of the Mon Calamari after their betrayal to the Empire or whatever. And basically went out slaughtering every single one if they could. And I mean, they didn't succeed, but that's the first time I've seen something large scale like that.
Well, the Reborn Emperor did it with Operation Shadow Hand and his World Devastators.
Oh,
he brought them to Mon Calamar, and then they're all defeated because of R2-D2.
The most powerful droid of them all.
Actually, back on the whole thing with Bill Burr's character and the whole thing with Operation Cinder destroying his world, I kind of zoned out in that scene, and for some reason, I thought they said I thought I heard them mention the planet Taurus for some reason.
Taurus.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I thought I heard them say that. But what was the name of that planet that he was from anyway? Did they mention it? I'll have to look it
Um,
up later.
I can't remember, but it's not Taurus. That's for sure, because it would have been a big deal for me, at least. I love hearing EU stuff in that, so I don't think it
I,
is.
I mean, just after playing KOTOR for a while, for a whole summer, I just really want to see Taurus again.
Play Star Wars: The Old Republic to see 300 years after KOTOR what happened to Taurus. It's a really good continuation of what happened there, honestly.
Yeah, especially
Anyways.
with the remains of the Endar Spire. That's pretty fucking cool.
That was cool.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
Actually, in my thing, I have plans for this.
Oh,
Yeah, you're gonna
Interesting.
rewrite everything.
Yeah, I have plans for it. Anyways, we should probably get back to the thing.
Yeah, we want to go off with what's the planet called again? This
Pantora.
this
Pantora.
Pantora. That's like if I remember, we had an episode in the Clone Wars with the moon of Orto Plutoni or something like that. The moon of Pantorans, right?
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Season
Yeah.
1, episode 15.
When the blue guy got killed because he didn't want to leave the moon.
Yeah. So I guess we're seeing this planet like for the first time now. I take it.
Actually, I think we saw it once before in one of the openings to Clone Wars. It was the episode Trespassing or Trespassers.
Oh, the opening. Oh yeah, but that's like 2 seconds tops.
Yeah, true. And I think we were actually supposed to see it in Dark Disciple, because I remember in the animatics, Ventress was hunting down somebody on there, and then Boss ended up coming to,
Yeah. I know that storyline. Anyway, what does this
Wasn't
place
that
remind
Coruscant?
you of? What?
Wasn't the planet Coruscant where he was actually tracking Asajj Ventress?
Honestly,
Well-
this planet looks like something out of ancient India, like the way their structures are designed.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about killing Voss and Ventress. I think the
oh,
planet was
my bad.
actually Coruscant.
It was?
I think.
I'm
No,
not really
no,
sure.
No, it was Pantora. I remember seeing several of the Pantorans on there.
All
You
right.
mean the unfinished episode scenes? With
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ventress?
Yeah.
Possibly. I can't really remember, but nonetheless, this reminds me of Egypt for some reason. I mean, I've been to Egypt, and I'll get into that later when we come to the specific scene of the buying of selling Echo or whatever. But it really reminds me of Egypt generally for some reason, and it seems like a Muslim culture here, or something like that. That's what
It looks like. It kind of looks like something out of either India or, let's say, Israel, something like that.
Yeah, those little candy swirly top things very much look like the tops of, say, a mosque.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And also the towers, like the small ones on the right and the left as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that's the type of inspiration for it.
Speaking of towers, why does a sewer lead up into the top of a really tall tower?
I don't know.
Because the plot required it to.
Divorce.
Because
Yeah.
the Force dictated it.
I guess so.
It's all
Yeah.
what the Force dictates. Remember?
Oh, by the way, do you know who the Force is?
Shrek.
No.
No. Chuck Norris is the Force.
Oh
Huh.
yeah.
I thought Kreia was the Force.
Chuck Norris lives about 3 hours away from me.
Really?
Oh, nice.
What?
He's also from Texas.
Yeah.
No wonder I like him.
Is it true he has a third fist in his beard?
Yeah, it's true.
He is his
Nice.
third fist.
Yeah.
Speaking
No,
of, I very much like this ship.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's a. I had a wrecker moment. Oh yeah. I like how they made. I like how they gave him the Kool-Aid Man thing, and they made him that big, and he likes to bust through walls. You know, Wrecker's
Yeah.
just Star Wars Kool-Aid Man. But
Yeah, he's just like, oh yeah, when he enters somewhere.
yeah, you can tell the ship was like in pre-production, very much. They wanted to say, okay, how can we take a Lambda class shuttle and make it cool? Like make it to where, oh, of course, a special ops group works out of the ship.
Oh, this is although this is a Omicron class shuttle, if I remember correctly, just modified,
Yes.
similar to the one Palpatine has in Episode 3.
A different cockpit.
It is different, but very
Mhm.
similar.
I know. I mean,
Yeah, I think at least regarding the wings and everything. But this looks very Imperial to me.
it
Like
looks
the
like a
TIE fighter wings.
prototype. It looks like a prototype for the TIE Interceptor.
Honestly, I think they could get away with sneaking into an Imperial shipyard with that thing.
I kind of want them to. I would love to see the Kuat drive yards, like, or the Rindili star drive yards, or Fondor, or Rothana heavy engineering, something like that.
You mean something similar like we saw on Ringo Vinda, like that whole, what do you call it, ring around the
Space
planet?
station.
Yeah,
Yeah.
space station, but could drive
Exactly,
yard.
just like in Battlefront too. When you play the
My question
campaign,
is, why did the Separatists build a planet-wide space station? I wonder what it was going to be used for.
They gotta make a lot of ships, man.
Good point.
And they
Just like the. Go on.
and they learned from their mistakes with the Naboo blockade. Oh, you got ships on one side of the planet. We'll just go to the other side of the planet. Go a long way around.
Yeah, yeah.
I
There were a lot
mean,
of
it
holes
reminds
in it.
me about Starforge from the KOTOR saga. Remember in the Clone Wars in season 6, where Tab gets the inhibitor chip not working correctly. Remember the planet with the circle around it?
Yeah, Ringo Vinda. That's
Yeah,
what I mentioned. Yeah,
that reminds me of. It gives me KOTOR vibes with Starforge.
KOTOR.
Yeah, Starforge.
For some reason, I always, you know, that those unfinished Clone Wars episodes that we're never going to see now, with the Yuuzhan Vong, for example.
Ah,
That's something I would have loved to see. And every time I see Ringo Vinda, I have an idea of where the episodes were going to happen. Probably on that battle station, and not battle station, the ring station around the planet. For some reason, like they find a Vong ship attached to it or something like that. It always gave me those types of vibes ever since I learned of the Yuuzhan Vong. I
Right.
don't know. That's just me, probably.
So, in terms of this episode and all the previous episodes, including, I've come to think of them as each episode is a different stage of breathing. So, the very first episode, that was a big inhale of shock and awe because we saw so many cool things, and we like right out the gate. What do we get in the first 5 minutes?
Order 66.
A death-curdling scream from Depa Billaba as she gets gunned down while a young Freddie Prinze Jr. runs away.
Oh, speaking of Depa's death in the Order 66 scene, have you ever heard of the YouTuber Endless Abyss?
No?
Oh, he actually does these lightsaber edits, and he actually edited both the Clone Commander's armor and Depa's lightsaber to make it more accurate to the comics, which I thought it was pretty cool seeing her lightsaber green.
Yeah,
Because
it
that's
should
really
have been
what
that.
we need more green lightsabers.
Agreed.
The green lightsabers are there for the Force users, as in the EU. The blue ones for the combatants. The green
And
ones
then
for
yellow was for the
Force
spies.
users. Yeah,
That would make it really easy to tell who's who.
and then
Yeah, that
purple's
was
for
the
bad
legend.
motherfuckers.
I think that's the general idea of getting the lightsaber color at the beginning. Like in KOTOR, for example, the Jedi Guardian, Sentinel, and Consular, right? The 3 classes you get in KOTOR. That's like the general idea, but at the end of the day, you can pick any color after it, and usually Jedi simply have any color they want, or let's say got, depending on their crystal or whatever. It's kind of convoluted when you look at both EU and canon at the same time. They have these roles, except that they don't, if you know what I mean. Like Depa Billaba is a Jedi console when you actually look at the lore.
Mm-hmm.
And she should have a green one, well, let's say in canon, you know. And
Yeah.
well, while we're on this topic, we haven't heard this from Logan, but what are your thoughts on the huge retcons and continuity errors they made with the first episode, despite the first episode being awesome, like a mini movie? What do you think about that?
I don't mind it. I don't mind it because of a couple of things. One being that if you played through the games, if you read the books, if you read the comics, the graphic novels, and seen everything, you know that Star Wars is littered with retcons.
Yeah.
And some of them, no, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Most of them do kind of work. Like before the Clone Wars, say there were no inhibitor chips that made the clones do this, that made them carry out Order 66. In the Republic Commando novels, it wasn't there were no chips.
It
Right?
was their loyalty to Republic.
The group of clones that you follow in the novels are confused and baffled why the regs would go through with such an order, and it's explained way more different in the books, because Palpatine had all these secret clone armies growing on the moons of Coruscant. He had all these secret fleets being built, came out of nowhere at the beginning of Revenge of the Sith. And I guess the inhibitor chip is a much different way. It's a much more easier explained way to be like, hey, yeah, the clones that fought along and befriended these Jedi, yeah, they're gonna kill them now. It's a much easier explanation than just, oh, well, they're just loyal soldiers. And
I honestly always assumed that it was a chip of some sort, or some brainwashing, mind control. Like ever since I saw Revenge of the Sith, I always assumed it's something like that. Never thought that they would do it on their own for no reason, especially after watching the Clone Wars. So to me, it's the most logical thing.
I kind of like the Republic Commandos novels explanation better, because it's Palpatine making all of these secret clone armies on the moon of Coruscant and integrating the soldiers into the regular forces spread throughout the galaxy. So it's way more covert and mysterious and sneaky, and a lot more of what fits the bill for something that Sidious would do.
There's a big plot hole, if I may.
Yeah.
There's actually a gigantic plot hole with inhibitor chips now. I was actually thinking about this the other day. When the 501st and Vader, newly appointed Vader, Lord of the Sith, execute Operation Nightfall. We see in the comic books later on, while the Purge troopers actually do execute Order 66 when they're actually told to do it, on the Inquisitors. Why didn't 501st execute newly appointed Vader? They knew him as General Skywalker. That's a gigantic plot hole. What are your thoughts on it?
I think that was actually, well, it's EU now, but it was explained in some comics where there were soldiers that weren't a part of the 501st that saw Vader twirling around, and they're like, look, another Jedi. And they went after him, and they got by Vader. Vader killed him, because in the 501st, like, what are you doing, you idiots? That's Lord Vader. He's your commander. And
But right now, I mean, they have inhibitor chips. What stopped them from executing Vader? Like, that's I was thinking and thinking and thinking, and whatever answer I found about it, I was like, yeah, inhibitor chip. No, let's go back. I spent like 3 days just thinking about that.
Maybe Palpatine had Masameda or Tarkin or somebody introduce Vader like
No,
they
he
do.
introduced him way later on. They introduced him actually a few months later when there was an attempt on his life.
Oh,
And
right.
Palpatine said, "This is Lord Vader. He speaks for me. He's my will. there is no one above him except me.
Right.
And then
So
Vader kills 5 officers at random just to show might and fear.
and that was to I think the Imperial Navy and their officers.
Every officer, like Navy and everyone.
Yeah.
He just said Tarkin is off limits. I need him for my plans.
Maybe for the purposes of Operation Nightfall, Sidious had that same thing done with the Stormtrooper Corps. Well, with what became the Stormtrooper Corps. And that it would make sense to me if that happened kind of off screen or off comic book panel, because the Stormtroopers all revere Vader. They think of him like almost a demigod, right? So it would make all the sense in the world to me, and I'm kind of okay with that inconsistency.
Yeah, but it would be actually amazing to get an explanation finally, because way more you dig in it and search and look at it.
Maybe we
already
already have one, and Bad Batch has given it to us, because you see in the previous episode where they have Crosshair on that table, and Tarkin says, "Can you increase the intensity of the inhibitor chip?" And Nala Se does it, so they show that they can throttle.
Yeah, but there's no time to do that in the entire Legion. That's because Operation Nightfall actually was executed so fast because Palpatine didn't want any Jedi to survive and make an uprising and try to eliminate him from power. So he actually ordered Vader to go immediately and execute all the Jedi.
You got me. This is one of those instances where I see that it's a galaxy far, far away a long time ago that used Phillip head screwdrivers. All right, so I just gotta throw up my hands and say space magic.
I'm trying to find the answer too, so yeah, I was hoping someone would actually help.
You know what, guys? I actually wish we had more scenes of Anakin killing Jedi and fights in the Jedi Temple itself when it comes to this topic.
Actually,
not in the game, like in the series, for example, or something like that. Like anything, a cinematic.
We will never get it because I actually watched a couple of weeks. I don't know, did you people did it? Star Wars Theory had the guy who wrote the novelization books for Episode 3 and Episode 2 and 1. He said that George never actually planned to go too deep into Operation Nightfall because it was even too dark even for George. So we never got that. We got like little bits and pieces with the younglings, but nothing that much. Episode 3, the game, that's an amazing game, but they actually made their own version of Order 66 and Operation Nightfall, more than the movies and the novelization and everything. And we'll never get it today because
I guess he didn't want the movie to be M-rated.
Yeah.
He wanted to be PG, so yeah. The most we got was Anakin just looking at those kids like he wants to murder them.
We got Younglings Slayer 3000, so
yeah.
Hey,
anyway, do we want to go on with the episode or something?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, let's keep going.
I like that we get a fat Sullustan.
I thought it was Borkus. I thought that they were going to bring Borkus back from the Gregor episode in the Clone Wars.
That guy?
Yeah, the Russian Sullustan.
Oh, him.
Borkus.
Actually, just to really quickly reverse back to that Order 66 thing, I was going to say something. What if we were to get a game and it would kind of, I mean, of course it would have a M rating, but what if we were to get an Order 66 game?
I'd love that, but I doubt it, honestly.
Yeah.
Because I saw the fan film from, what's it called? Bucketheads, you know?
Oh, yeah.
That they're working on a series, like making around the Stormtroopers or whatever, and honestly, it looks really good. I definitely recommend it for everyone. They talked about what Lucasfilm allows them to do, and that is they're not allowed to make something, for example, R-rated or something very much more mature, because They simply wanted to feel like the Star Wars brand, just like, if you know what I mean. Like, not all blood is not really allowed.
Yeah.
Maybe just a bit, and stuff like that. So technically, we would never be allowed to get something, like that, very graphic. Sadly. Although when you look at it, when it was LucasArts and when it was under George Lucas, we had something like Death Troopers. Remember that trailer for the book? The undead trooper on the bridge, that was creepy as hell.
Yeah.
And bloody and everything. So.
And then out the mods we got for the original Battlefront 2 game.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna skip this part. You have anything to say, guys, for this or whatever?
I like the idea of him blackmailing them.
Oh yeah.
Never get between Wrecker when he needs food.
Oh, that was so good in this episode. I love that. Like he's probably the most comedic part of the Bad Batch generally in every episode.
Yep.
He's easily my favorite character.
He's becoming mine as well here, definitely.
I like to blow things up because I like to blow things up.
Let's blow some shit up.
I rewatched the fight scene in the cafeteria or the mess hall, whatever, from the first episode. That was so hilarious. Like, Wrecker basically couldn't wait to get into a fight, and Crosshair is probably the most. What?
Did you see how Omega was looking at him?
Oh yeah.
It was like, "You're my hero."
Or for example, Crosshair was trying to eat his food peacefully. Then Echo was thrown on his table, and he just took that what was it, the plate or something, just threw it at a clone and smashed him.
Yeah.
That was funny as hell.
No, it would be even funnier if somebody made a piece of fan art showing every single one of them fighting in the background and Crosshair just sitting eating. He's like, "It's so nice to have the family together for dinner."
Probably the best part of that was Crosshair's face when he looked at him when they were fighting. He was just, "Leave me alone so I can eat." And when his food was smashed or whatever, he hit the table with his fist, like,
I just love how Echo basically said afterwards, he's like, "Oh God, not again." So this isn't the first time they've done it.
That's why they hate regs.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move on with Celestin here. I think this was like the first time they actually had to do something what civilians do in the Star Wars galaxy. Like, pay him for stuff like that or whatever, blackmail, and that's what it feels like, at least.
We got that in Clone Wars as well, remember?
In the Clone Wars?
Mandalorians. Yeah, with Mandalorians. And when Anakin and Padme went to the ice planet and Palpatine hired the bounty hunter.
Mm-hmm.
With Banteri, remember with Banteri?
Oh yeah.
Every episode he was in, even in season 2, I think, when he was first introduced, it was like talking about blackmail, secret factories, and everything. Then when he was brought back as well, they were touching up like to those plots. So we actually had that before, and I think we actually had it in Rebels as well, with Hera when she was trying to get a ship. What's the name of the ship? Goddamn.
Yeah, but I was thinking blackmail in the sense of, scum of the Star Wars galaxy, like this guy, for example, bribing them in a way.
Like that.
They tried to do that to Vader in the new comic books. In the first issue, when he was trying to find his ship, they tried to do that. He just killed them all instantly.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
There are things like this, but not that much on the big screen because they're not kid based.
Yeah.
Do you guys know
see the ship?
Yeah, the ship. That's what I was gonna say. The Lady Luck, as they would call it, Lando's ship.
You mean the floating disco, traveling disco?
Yeah.
I want to know why this guy knows to call Fennec Shand.
Yeah, it's very well what are the chances that the Bad Batch was specifically going to land on this planet and on this platform?
Like, he doesn't even pull up a registry to see if certain bounty hunters are looking for certain targets. He just goes straight to Fennec.
I think it might be best not to think about it.
So
You're probably right.
yeah,
It
yeah.
might be best
Yeah.
if we just not read too deep into it. Let's just let the plot tell the thing.
Because when you
Anyways.
look at it, in the second episode with Cut LaQuain, it's fascinating how none of the clones didn't recognize either Hunter or Cut himself. I mean, they almost
Yeah.
did recognize him, but generally, when they're walking around in the town, I would have expected them to keep a lower profile than they did.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah.
Hunter, if he has a wanted level and his face is half tattooed, I think it's very obvious. Too
Very.
obvious.
You'd
in a
think
way.
he'd at least lose the bandana.
We actually
Yeah, yeah.
talked about this so much in the episode too. Review. It's just weird.
Yeah. Shall we fast forward Spaceball
Oh, by
style?
the way, what did you think about the reference to episode 2 with the credits and the codes and the Imperial officer that's talking about everything? They just reuse the scene with different background.
It was okay.
Which scene?
Oh, the
The
Admiral
clones pass
Rampart
by
talking-
like parade style when clones pass by and people are cheering and everything. And
the
there's
chain
like
code, right?
chain codes and everything when the Imperial officer is talking again. They just switch the background. I think they use the same footage.
Huh. I didn't notice.
I never saw this ship before. It's probably new,
Not a
huh?
bad design.
It reminds me
You
of
gonna use
Ghost a bit. Go back for a second. It reminds me of a Ghost a bit.
The ghost from Rebels.
Yeah, the upper part. Cut out the wings and just take the center of it.
Yeah,
Because
kind of.
of the Ghost vibe.
It really suits her when you look at the color schemes on it, especially with the helmet. So
She's
yeah,
got
anyway,
she's got a big ship.
yeah, for
Like,
her.
it's for one person, it is a big ship.
Yeah, it's
Well,
probably the
maybe
size
she's
of-
compensating for something.
Ah.
God damn.
probably has a small.
PG-13.
Hey, question. How much do you want to bet that they're going to end up capturing their stunt doubles instead of them?
Oh, and like Spaceballs.
Yeah,
Yeah. How much do you want to bet they'll end up capturing the Bad Batch's stunt doubles?
the worst batch.
The sad batch.
Yes. They're like, no, and the clones capture them, an Imperial officer comes up. He's like, you idiots! You captured their stunt doubles!
I didn't understand why the clones shit on the Bad Batch. Like,
Because I think regs are superior.
But that's obviously not true because
It's the
they're
other way around.
special forces.
yeah, I don't.
I think they're afraid of them.
because that's not a real thing in reality. Like, special forces don't get.
Disrespected that much.
Yeah, like it just didn't make any sense. The Dad Batch. That's hilarious.
Sad batch.
Sand
Oh,
Honestly,
dad
I'm-
batch. Yeah.
bad.
That's
Whoa,
hilarious.
wow.
You know,
Yeah, that's-
with episode 4, that name is actually pretty stinking accurate.
Honestly, like, back on your question about how the regs give them disrespect, I think they're new clones. Like, they just don't understand. Like, they were recently created, and they don't know all the work they've done.
See, it would totally make sense then if it stuck to the old EU's explanation of, oh, these are all secret clones grown on a secret planet.
Not
And
just
it
that.
Actually, I think it makes sense. We actually already talked about it in the previous streams. You weren't there, but the thing is, they're probably not clones. They're probably shinies who basically, let's say, matured during the Empire. Like, let's say, how I'm going to say this. Yeah, they're probably newer clones who weren't under the inhibitor chip. When you compare the guys in the cafeteria to the shock troopers in the, all over Camino, completely different personalities when you look at it. These guys are controlled by the chip, which is obvious to how strict they are. Yet these guys are not, since they're fighting or making jokes. I think they're
Not
probably
just that.
Chinese.
It's not just that. Special forces are special forces for a reason. They're covert ops, and their missions don't go to public that much. So Regs wouldn't actually know that much about them. They would just think, "Oh yeah, who are you? You look like freaks. You're giving us a bad rep." So they wouldn't even know what they do, even if they're new or old. Because we remember in the season 7, the last season of Clone Wars, not even Rex or Jedi's knew about it. Oh, they
Yeah.
did because he worked with them. And the regular clones were like, "Why are you so special?"
Mm.
Yeah, something like that. Hey,
It's a bit of a rivalry more than anything.
anyways,
And
should
it
we
also
skip?
doesn't make sense since they're technically clone commandos. They are commandos, despite them not having the traditional clone commando armor. They are commandos, so they shouldn't be disrespected like that by the regular soldier.
True. Anyways, shall we skip this part like a little bit to the part where
Or it gets
Hunter
interesting.
does the transaction?
Oh
No,
yeah,
not just that. There's a fun part with Omega and
Oh yeah, let's go to that really
Wrecker.
quick.
When he wants to go explore as well, and he's like, "Explore? Why can't I go there? Like this is not
Yeah.
exploring; it's a retrieval mission."
yeah. Wrecker
That was a good
once
part.
again the funny guy from the.
He reminds me of Michelangelo from TMNT, actually.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think he is. What if he is?
He just needs pizza.
I
They
love
don't
that he's
have that in Star
hungry.
Wars.
I love that he's hungry and that he will do anything for more food. Basically, that's what it seems like.
Yeah, it's me.
I think that's every comic relief that we know.
If it's not broke, don't fix it.
I mean, there's a character like that in my project, so look out for it.
So I don't necessarily think this is a filler episode. I think it, like I was saying earlier, I think these episodes in terms of breathing. So the very first episode, you had your really big inhale. You were shocked at everything. Everything was really cool looking. And then obviously the next episode was the exhale. It was a bit slower. We went to Seleucami. We got some familiar faces. We dealt with, Hunter wondering if they could really raise a kid. And then we got the third episode, a little bit more of an inhale. You get a little bit more of a shock.
Crimes.
Right. You get war crimes. You get intrigue and mystery. And then this is another exhale episode where, they're just on a supply run and they run into this bounty hunter. We have this funny thing where Echo gets sold.
Yeah.
One of
We're
the
gonna get
best
to that now.
Yeah.
I just wanted to mention, what do you guys think? Are we maybe gonna get episodes which are fully focused on Crosshair and the Imperial side of this story?
I really
Because
hope
love
so.
that.
I would love
I
that.
would really love
Might.
that.
I would certainly like that.
I think that would be midway, like half season, when they go on a break, or season finale.
I hope
Or
they don't
Rex.
go on a break.
I think actually Rex will show up in the midway or at the season finale because he's such a big character.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It would
Just
be
to
good.
be thrown around. I think there's
I think
70%
I
special.
think we're gonna actually get Rex probably in the next episode or the one after it, because it seems like, in regards to all the trailers that they've shown for this series, we've almost seen it all except for the Rex scene and the one where Wrecker is, being eaten by that thing or whatever.
And fighting, what was it called?
Rancor.
goddamn. Rancor, yeah.
Oh yeah, the Rancor. Yeah.
It gives
While
me
we're on
Force
the topic.
Unleashed vibes and Fallujah with Shakti.
hmm I think we're gonna go to Braca from Jedi Fallen Order
Oh,
with Rex.
We might. Maybe we'll see Cal.
Like in the background.
be a nice-
like
be a
another
nice-
one. Okay, just gonna move on a bit from here. The animation is really gorgeous when you look at it.
It is. Thank God it's not Rebels animation.
We can all agree on that.
It was a stepstone. It was a stepstone for this. So
It was a stepstone that Disney slipped on and broke its jaw.
No, actually, that's Star Wars Resistance.
Ew.
they
Yeah.
tried to emulate the Clone Wars
know,
from 2003,
that-
but they failed.
Honestly, the animation style in Resistance could have worked, but it needed a massive cleanup because it looked really unfinished.
It needed a better era and better story because the
did you
sequel
actually-
era is just boring when you look at it. I couldn't watch it.
Did you people watch the shorts on YouTube? I don't know where, on some Star Wars channel. I mean, official Star Wars channel, like 2D animation, talking about all of the movies, stories, where movies are told through fast scenes, animated style, amazing animation, hand drawn. Did you watch that?
I'll have to go back and look at it because my stomach kind of turned when I saw the official Star Wars channel put out that video about The Rock. And I was like,
idiotic beyond belief.
so I just
Don't even
kind
go
of
there with Geode.
I just kind of
That
stopped.
reminds me of Killer Croc with the Batman animated series.
Oh, I
I
hold
threw a
on.
rock at him.
Go back a couple of
Yeah.
I love this. Tech was
He
like,
just uproots everything.
Wrecker's like, just tell me what I gotta pull out.
Yeah, simple man trying to make his way in the universe.
No, actually, I'm picturing a scenario where it's like the scene in SpongeBob where they were basically piloting the Flying Dutchman's ship, and it was doing that, like Wrecker's basically moving behind an asteroid field or something, and Omega's like, keep going, you're good, you're good, you're good, and stop. Then she's like, don't worry, Hunter, we'll buff out those scratches.
I actually have to say something to Nathan. I think it was the guy's name. We actually have something like anime style, not like Naruto. We actually have Tarkovsky's Clone Wars from 2003. It's
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
a hand-drawn
show.
animation. The same guy who made Samurai Jack, Dexter,
Yes.
and everything. It's
Dexter
no
as well.
talking. Yeah, I told about Dexter. It's no talking. It's only action. There's only a few scenes with talking. It's beautiful. It is old, but it holds up so good to this day.
In the few scenes where there is talking, it's very well worth it because it's not.
Mhm.
It, one of my favorite scenes was when Anakin and Obi-Wan are assaulting that separatist stronghold, and there's that reptilian-looking alien who's talking to the battle droid
How
commander,
many?
and he's
how
like,
many?
"How many of them? 10,000 less? What? 1,000 less? 100 less? What?
Two.
50? Come on!"
Yeah, that was for some
Amazing.
reason when I watched it the first time, it kind of felt out of place for Star Wars, to tell you the truth. But it's not. It's a nice touch.
We actually got Ventress there. Actually, Ventress was concept art for Mal, I think,
Mhm.
in the beginning. Then she was brought into this. Like the funny story about that Clone Wars is it came to be only because George Lucas needs something to fill in the gaps between episode 2 and 3, and because his son loved the show.
Actually, Ventress was supposed to be in Attack of the Clones, but then got cut out or replaced.
She was replaced with Count Dooku,
Dooku.
but she was originally concept art of her was actually made for Mal back in
Yeah.
1997.
Yeah, but when you look at it, it seems like George planned the Clone Wars for a long time, like apart from the movies, because it was obvious that he noticed that there was a gap between 2 and 3, because you technically don't even see the beginning of the Clone Wars and the very end. So I think he had it all planned all along regarding both of the series that he wanted to do.
Well, in A New Hope, whenever it's just kind of glanced over, Luke asks Obi-Wan, "You fought in the Clone Wars?" And I didn't realize it until a couple of days ago, but if I had seen that movie for the very first time as I am now, I would have paused the movie and said, "Wait, the what? Excuse me? I want a story about that."
Like
Yeah,
serious.
that sounded so cool and mysterious, and ancient for some reason.
And it was actually amazing from what's the guy's the actor, Sir Alec
Oh, yeah.
Guinness, right?
Yeah.
Name. It was actually amazing just to hear it in his voice. Like the older guy who's actually calm, collected. He reminds me of the what's the called from the Lord of the Rings, the guy, the magician.
Gandalf.
Yeah, Gandalf. Thank you.
Yeah.
It just reminds me of like keeping calm and back
I
in my
honestly-
day, but so badass.
Their voices, both Gandalf's when he's saying something meaningful to Frodo, like the only thing for us to decide is what we do with the time that is given to us and stuff like that, really gives me goosebumps. But Alec Guinness's one also does, but on a different scale since his voice is so different. And I don't know, it just works. I don't know how to say it. It's epic.
Yeah.
It just works.
It just
It's just
works.
insightful.
Yeah. But true.
Times.
I mean, do you guys remember? I mean, I was born in 1996, but still, I know what people expected the Clone Wars to be before the prequels. And I remember Timothy Zahn in the Thrawn trilogy. He mentioned something about the Clone Wars being the Republic fighting some mad clones or whatever, clone army. Was it something like that, right?
Yeah, in the beginning,
Yeah, it was
actually
something-
meant for the clones to be the enemies, and they actually put that in Plagueis as the Dark Lord novel. He
Mhm.
first wanted clones to fight the Jedi, and then he actually thought about, wait, why don't I use them for their own soldiers? He tried to clone some alien race,
Yeah,
but they were too
the
unobedient. Yeah.
Yagori.
And then he went for Jango Fett, and then he made a plan for Order 6. I mean, Order 66, but no inhibitor ships in that time, like in real time.
Yeah. Anyway, what do you guys notice here? 501st
The-
speeder bike.
Clone Wars, yeah.
I was gonna say the BB is walking into the ghetto.
Mhm.
The BB's walking into the ghetto. The Bad Batch is in their own gang now.
That would actually be really cool. Imagine them being bounty hunters. But it's
Yeah,
really weird
they
that a civilian here is using a 501st box speeder. I think it is that. It really looks
I
like
did-
it.
You know, it's weird. It's always the little details that are hidden in the background that really catch your eye. Like you have to either watch it at really slow
Definitely.
speeds or you have to pause it at just the right moment.
Yeah, and I think Dave Filoni does that very well in everything he worked in regarding the details. But
I mean, he's
overall,
the fan.
I've noticed he does a lot of continuity errors when it came to the EU. I mean, I admit it. There are a lot of continuity errors, but I think there are even more in canon now because of some of his decisions. But when he does it, when he makes the continuity error, it seems better than the original, if you ask me, for some reason. I just seem to enjoy it more.
Yeah,
But the
depending on what it
details-
is.
Yeah, the details and the Easter eggs is something that he does perfectly, if you ask me.
True.
I mean, Filoni himself is a gigantic fan. And he
Yeah.
tries to put so many little Easter eggs, touches and everything. What do you think about this scene?
Oh, the clone trooper.
No, not the clone trooper, but him trying to sell the explosive. He's saying, no.
Oh, yeah, he tried to sell an explosive. I don't know how this guy doesn't see this explosive and like, oh, I could get a lot of money out of this. Like, reputable operation, my butt. Come on, man. You're buying a
Yeah.
bomb. You could buy a bomb.
You know what this
And then-
reminds me? This scene overall reminded me of my trip to Tunisia and Egypt, because over there you're constantly bargaining with someone on how much you're gonna, give or whatever, and sometimes you can really squeeze them well and get a great deal. So I don't know. That's why it feels like Egypt to me, like for some reason.
Hey, Luke, Todd, I may have to get going in a few minutes because my phone's about to die.
Oh yeah, you're doing
Go
it from
inside. Go inside, goddamn.
go inside. Honestly,
I am.
put in a
Oh.
charger and we can go on if you want to.
Just keep going. I'll last it. I'll just. keep going.
Unlimited power cable.
Well, if you disconnect, I'll know what's happening. So
Yeah,
you can connect over the computer or whatever you want. Once again, not a
Maybe.
problem at all.
I know.
You have outlets in your house. Unlimited power.
Yes, I know, but
It's
Family.
it's Wisconsin, middle
Do
of
it.
nowhere. So
what?
it's Wisconsin, and it's in the middle of nowhere. So not really.
I'm not in Wisconsin.
No.
Never
Tesla, he
mind.
can help.
Oh well, let's just keep
Wait,
going.
what is it called again? I forgot the state you're in. Shit.
Massachusetts.
Yeah. Same thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh well. All right, let's just keep going.
Yep. Okay, so we're here. You guys have anything to say? Look, we just only passed 1/3 of the episode, basically.
You made a good bargain.
I love Echo being like, I am worth more than
More than
2,000.
2,000.
For some reason, he feels like a prostitute here,
Definitely.
like a man whore.
That's why
This
he's.
toy reminds me of what Jin had in Row One of the Stormtrooper toy.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
Except it's a clone trooper.
Yeah, it's even better.
And I thought that they were going to be forced to pay for the thing that she dropped, but no.
I like
Just
how
let Echo take control with the blaster.
this guy bought Echo and then didn't see that he had a side pistol.
Well,
Yeah.
he thought, in his defense, he thought it was a war droid, a new version, a prototype.
Oh,
Yeah, maybe he was like, "This comes with the package as well, so let's just keep it."
you know what's also
Just do it.
interesting? How he didn't check on anything regarding Echo. He could have easily simply touched him anywhere and noticed that it's a living being.
He
And
didn't
it's-
try and he didn't try and put a
Restraining
what's-
bolt.
restraining bolt on him either.
That was an amazing scene, actually, to me. When Echo takes his hand and starts shuffling. Imagine how those droids felt. Like watching a horror movie.
Yeah. We're saying yeah again a lot. aren't we?
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should, yeah, we should stop.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's pissed. You can already see his face despite the helmet.
He's like,
Like little
don't sell
green.
me. Yes, sell
Oh.
you.
Okay.
Gas money.
I don't know if you guys remember this, but do you remember I think it came out in the late 80s, maybe early 90s, the cartoon show Droids?
Yeah, I know it.
Yeah.
This reminds me very much of one of the outfits from one of those episodes where R2D2 and C3PO run across this alien prince who has amnesia, and there's these space pirates trying to
Kylo
Kidnap-
Ren. Was it Kylo Ren, right?
was he a fat guy?
Yeah, Kylo Ren. That was his name.
Yeah, and he had a big Wookiee looking dude with claws named Orbo.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought it was nice. It probably has nothing to do with that.
But what about the Wookiee droid attack on the Wookiees?
It is critical.
I never-
We have an episode there immediately.
It never gets old.
Yeah. Another happy landing.
Yes. Another happy
We-
landing.
We
you
are
know,
still
we could basically see Kylo Ren if this series goes to 15 BBY.
oh, yeah.
4 years in the future, because that's when that storyline happens. Imagine seeing him, the fat guy, in this animation style.
That'd be
I think
cool.
it'd be funny. Okay.
We actually got that with season 5. I think.
Hunters. Now, where were we? Oh yeah. Hunter's selling his personal man whore.
That's what it feels like when Echo's like, I'm worth more than 3,000, 2,000.
You can hear
It's
this
like,
disappointment
come on,
in
you-
his voice.
It's like a stripper you hired just to give you some sort of pleasure nights. It's like, I need more than that, baby.
Hey guys, the Clone Wars sucks unsubbed.
What? That's heresy.
Just go kill yourself. Like you don't belong here.
That is
Unsub.
heresy.
I mean, if I was so picky on anything, I wouldn't be subbed to anyone.
Hey, by the way, we have to shout out. Thanks, guys. This is actually a friend of mine. What up? Negative.
Of course.
He's
Who
actually a friend.
specifically?
A close friend, actually, from my childhood. Actually, we talked before the episode, and we actually watched the episode together.
Nice.
So big shout out to him.
Of course. Okay, let's move on. Yeah, we sold Echo. Didn't we have this? Have we seen this before?
I don't think so. And I kind of like that.
Yeah, it's kind of new.
Yeah.
I can't tell if they're like alien dogs or alien babies
Or alien
Or-
sheep.
or alien sheep.
For a second there, I thought that the arm was from that alien thing touching her face.
God damn!
I mean, you never know. She could have had an ET moment with it.
Look at the excitement.
Yeah.
She's like, Hunter, can we get one
I just
Pretty,
got a headache.
please.
with some cherry and sprinkles on top?
God.
Look at those details in the taxi. I mean, they really paid attention to the background stuff.
It reminds me of Clone Wars and 99 Bar. Remember?
The what?
99 Bar, where clones would actually go on Coruscant.
Oh yeah, the
Yes.
bar. Yeah. When they throw the
Bottle.
alcohol bottle on the taxi driver.
Yeah, it's like, well, your mother's a droid. It's like, joke's on you. We don't have parents.
God.
Yep. Well, the thing is, technically, their mother is a droid, is a machine.
Oh, yeah.
You're right. You're right.
And their father is back to tank.
Yeah. Do you guys think that they kept Jango Fett's head in some cylinder, some jar, or something like
No.
that?
Boba took that as a trophy.
I think he actually buried. I think he buried him. Fully.
I like how this taxi speeder has the white and black checker markings on it,
Yeah.
like an old school taxi.
There are some similarities with real life that they use that really works generally in Star Wars.
You mean like the police speeder bikes and the sirens? How they
We're
have red
waiting
and-
for the taxi.
Yeah. So, I mean, some things might be universal, like good and evil. So taxi and police.
You know, if you go one scene back on Fennec, yeah, she really needs a freaking visor on that helmet.
I think it will look better. then.
Yeah.
I mean, she looks good as it is, but it will look even better.
It's almost like an invitation to say, "Hey, stab here."
Yeah.
How can
I mean,
they shoot her? Why
You
can't
have
they
some,
shoot her?
some medieval visors basically made it too easy for some people regarding stabbing them in the eyes, because that would be the only way to kill them.
The
But
Cartedra.
Yeah, but the
What?
thing is, the medieval visors were a lot smaller, you know, when
Yeah.
it comes to the eye slits.
No T visor there that was so large. Just gonna skip it a bit. Oh, you know what else I noticed in this episode? You can see, like, very briefly when you see the box speeder at the back, you can also see the Count Dooku speeder from episode 2 times in the episode.
Huh.
Just
Interesting.
fly by.
Yeah.
We might catch it here, I'm not sure.
Impressive.
Okay, it's over there, so the face though.
Hey, that looks like a Mandalorian thing.
What? The Mandalorian woman?
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of.
God damn, we're serious with him again. We should make a meme.
That's something I didn't think about. Did the Bad Batch actually get their supplies onto the ship?
No, they didn't even get supplies.
What do you mean?
They didn't have time to get supplies.
Yeah, we never saw them actually get their supplies.
We
Russia-
actually never even saw most characters eat or do anything throughout Star Wars.
That's
Wrecker is still hungry. So
fair.
Wrecker smash.
Yeah.
He's always like, I need food.
So tell me if you can see what I mean about Fennec's face and how they try to. I can't tell if they succeeded or not with a young Ming-Na Wen looking CGI character.
Well, I mean, let's say that she's almost 30 years old here.
Mm.
I think it will work since 28 years later, it's the Mandalorian in regards to the timeline. Not that I care about the Mandalorian, but if we're gonna be consistent or whatever, it works because she's 58,
Sure.
or maybe she's even younger. Because she doesn't look 58, even in the Mandalorian, the actress. I mean, so maybe she's 25, 22, 3. Who knows? I don't know. But for some reason, I like her more here because I like the era more. That's just me.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I think Fennec works better. I think she works better here too because it's like she's not like being pursued by anybody. She's just being the usual bounty hunter and stuff. But didn't they say she was an assassin in The Mandalorian or something like that too, instead of a bounty hunter?
Yeah, I think she was hired out by the Hutts.
Yeah, and then she did something and got in trouble with them. So
There was some theories that she's working with Boba Fett, but if I remember correctly, was she working for Boba Fett in The Mandalorian season 1 when he found her almost dead? Or was that an accident over there? Like he just found her and helped her survive or whatever, heal.
I don't know. I didn't watch Mandalorian stuff.
I like the different design for Echo's complexion, but he just looks so sickly.
Yeah,
yeah,
you'd think that
they've
it would
gotten
get
rid of
better.
the pale skin.
Don't use drugs, kids. That's what's happened to you.
I'd expect him to get better after, a few months after being rescued.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, he's still very pale. I don't know why.
He's still using.
Well, I guess they milked him pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, there's the droid on the far left here.
This reminds me when Jar Jar says hello to the droids in episode 1.
Actually,
Hello, boys. This is called Jar Jar Binks.
The ability to talk does not make you intelligent.
actually with Echo, I think he was supposed to get rid of that whole drill like thing he has for the arm and was supposed to get a prosthetic. I remember seeing the Kashyyyk animatics for Clone Wars and his skin was back to normal and he was actually supposed to have a prosthetic.
I think he is going to get an arm because as far as I've seen, the Lego set for the Bad Batch shuttle has Echo with his whole arm.
I kind of like him with the one size fits all R2D2 extension thing that opens any door or hacks into any computer.
Yeah, but what if he had that in one of his fingers in the mechanical arm, for example?
That'd be awesome.
I mean, you can poke people with it too. I mean, it's still.
For some reason, I have a feeling that Echo is the least tough character out of them all, especially because he has one arm. Like in the fight, for example.
Jar Jar.
What?
F in the chat for Jar Jar. Come on, people. We all love him. Do it.
Cards, make them get the F. Say it in the Jar Jar voice. Do it. Is he alive?
I think we lost him. I think he'll be back.
Yeah, he's off on his own. Okay, anyway, let's move on a bit. We have this here.
Chase for a little while.
For some reason, look at the speeder. There it is.
Mm-hmm.
The one on the left, the Count Dooku speeder. And it's the exact same one the separatist droids used to use.
The commandos use that actually.
Yeah,
Commando
yeah.
droid.
It's funny because you have... Wait, what? Look, on the right, you have the box speeder, 501st version, technically. On the left, you have the separatist one. And behind it, it really looks like a scout speeder from Return of the Jedi, sort of, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. I only see R2D2 in the background.
What?
I only see R2D2 in the background.
Oh. Well, sort of. Yeah, then we have this part. I don't know, the remainder of the episode wasn't too interesting, if you ask me.
It was interesting, the part where actually she steals from the chick.
The two parts
And
of the rest of this...
so naive.
The two parts of the rest of this episode that I like are that Fennec seems somehow to be a fighter on par with Hunter, even though he's this elite clone commando. And I was ready for a big fight scene between her and Wrecker, and she just spins him around into a wall.
Oh yeah,
that was funny.
But when you talked about the Hunter and Fennec Shand fight, what I liked about it is, well, first off, I expected it to play out the same way it did with Boba Fett and the other Mandalorian in the Mandalorian series, and that fight kind of pissed me off in a way. Not really pissed. I don't get pissed off generally, but I didn't like it because she was on par with Boba Fett himself, Like she smashed him into the table or whatever, and I was expecting it to be something like that here. But clearly, I mean, biologically, when you look at it, most males are stronger than females, And I like that Hunter, when she was about to stab him, he was able to overpower her with his arms when she dropped the knife and the blast and whatever. But at the end, she got him simply because of the helmet, which makes sense.
Why didn't he use it later? Why didn't he use it in
Hey,
his stuff?
what's happening?
Good.
Your audio.
Wait, what? What's going on?
I
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Why didn't he use his blaster? Like Mexican standoff, he uses it later on the speeder bike. Why didn't
Because
he
he's
use it
Rambo.
now?
He likes the knife.
I mean, even Rambo uses a gun, so... Say hello to my little friend.
Yeah. Okay, here he is.
I think that's Scarface.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, true. She did knock him out. I'm just reading the comment. She did knock him out quite easily, but still, I think that's the only reason why she put on the helmet was so they could do that, I guess.
I mean...
Well, if she is
for
supposed to be
Wrecker-
this top-notch, like, one of the best assassins.
I actually see the point in the Wrecker. Because
I
he was...
kind of like to think...
Finish.
Yeah, what?
Talk.
Say again?
I was
Okay,
going to say, I
let's see.
kind of like to... Oh,
No,
sorry.
I was about to say he has his knife on the back, just like Sam Fisher does in Splinter Cell. It's kind of pretty cool.
Just gonna find the scene. Oh yeah, he's overpowering her here.
I kind of like to believe she outsmarted them somehow. Or was
It's
just
Wrecker
using
def-
more... Yeah, Wrecker...
Well, she did. She did outsmart Wrecker, that's for sure. Because he was gonna go with brute strength and no brain. And
I
brain
kinda-
always wins.
And I kind of like to
See-
think that she's making up for her lack of strength. She's making up for it with agility.
This is where I kind of wish this was a HBO live action show because they would have banged by the end of the season.
Game of Thrones style.
Yeah, but still, it's Star Wars.
Did that finish? Game of Thrones finish.
Yeah.
Bro, if that was Game of Thrones, he would have banged Omega.
Oh no.
No, 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 no. He would have been
Yeah,
arrested for underage
dude.
sex.
I think we
Movie
just got
sources.
demonetized.
I think you went
No.
too far, definitely.
Who cares? It was worth it. Like, this whole thing is worth it.
Is it, huh? But why are we talking about banging?
I don't know.
Like, we're talking about a fight scene between these two, and someone's like, they should bang, you know?
This is only natural.
We talk
She-
about fighting.
Gentleman's dance.
He
Gentleman's
cut off your arm, you wanted revenge. You wanted to stab her with your...
dance.
Uh,
Oh, God, okay.
Back to PG-13. Back to PG-13.
I don't know, but for some reason, this is fun.
God damn.
just talking about...
honestly, when you look at the scene at when you look at this photo at just the right
Remove the
angle,
blaster.
you can
Remove the
just
blaster
make it out.
detector.
Maybe it's not a blaster. Maybe the the elongated part moves in circles or whatever. Like
I mean, just look at where Hunter's eye level is at.
Yes,
Boobs.
and look at where Fennec's region is.
Yeah.
You can clearly see that this black area is a sensor bar.
we just got demonetized.
Aw, man.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking, but
Uh,
I'm joking.
so it's worth
Worth
it.
it.
Like,
It was
like
worth
not
it.
the demonetization, but like the fact that we're making jokes about this. It's worth it.
There's
It's
a
worth
song about this as well. It's actually great, but
Another nice scene, but oh yeah, he's holding her other arm. Yeah. You know, he could literally be played by Sylvester Stallone in the live action if it was an older version of Hunter.
He could
or
be.
Yeah.
use CGI what they did for Schwarzenegger in the Terminator 5.
Oh, are those Jogan fruit? If you remember those from Rebels, I'm guessing you guys love that a lot.
They are definitely
Oh yeah.
best show ever.
Never heard of him.
The jogging fruit. No.
Oh yeah, Sonny wrote Rule 34 artists at the ready with these screenshots.
Yes, let's get it on.
Oh, by the way, when it comes to that, today I saw on Instagram someone posted
Oh God.
someone voiced Shrek to say, "Donkey, get off my laptop and stop searching Ahsoka Rule 34." Donkey,
You have too much time.
like what are you doing?
Get off my laptop! I have some stuff on there you're not supposed to see. Oh, come on, Shrek!
That was a really good Donkey.
Yeah, you want to see more of that? I'll show you more of that, Shrek.
Shrek. Shrek is love. Shrek is life.
Donkey!
No.
And here we go again with what do I have to pull out?
You know what I liked here? That Wrecker was pissed off that he wasn't where the action was.
Definitely.
That's just great.
He was sad. He's definitely like Hulk, seriously.
He's also hungry.
Personality.
Oh yeah.
Actually, he's not just hungry. Did you see him running? Like, I could have sworn I saw him running.
You know,
Yeah,
that
was-
might be the reason. That might be the reason why Fennec defeated him so easily, because he was hungry.
And running.
Do you guys think that this droid with the arms and legs is adorable? I love it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be
Yep.
surprised if he became a Black Series figure.
Not that far, but close.
I don't know.
I like this Miss Priss C3PO.
Oh yeah, she's in charge.
I'm C-3PO.
Yeah.
Even separate relations.
Well, is it she or it?
It's C3PO if he got a gender switch surgery.
It's
Oh,
Yeah, this is where he starts spinning the thing.
you know, when we're talking
Horror
about Rule
movie.
34, Rule 34 Echo could have something on his arm instead of that drill.
God dang
God
it.
damn, dude.
Oh
Oh, just freaking
no,
stop it.
Seriously.
What have you done?
What have I done?
Luke.
I think I
Luke,
made a
You've
mental
created a
image.
monster.
Yeah,
You've created a monster.
You're fulfilling your destiny, Echo.
Your path towards the dark side will be completed.
I mean, this scene here looks like he's gonna put the drill in her face or something like that.
Do it.
It reminds me more of Freddy Krueger.
Krueger, why Krueger?
Yeah. I don't know. It just reminds me like a horror movie.
I mean,
Is this guy missing an eye?
He is.
I think
Oh,
he
yeah.
is.
yeah, I think
Or
this-
he's just blind.
You know, the thing is, every time we see
got
these guys
punched
in
in the
Star
face by
Wars,
the
like
bullet.
this species in particular, there's always some dickheads. You know, you see them in episode 2 when they're chasing around in the speeders.
In episode 1 as well.
Yeah,
Buzz race.
yeah.
I
And they're
remember.
always acting like dickheads.
Do you guys remember some? I don't know where this is from. It's from the Clone Wars, definitely. But I remember seeing these guys. Someone cut off their heads. The species. Where was that? Was it the? Yeah, I think it's the Trandoshan hunters in their hall.
Yeah.
Which one?
It was the one where
when
Ahsoka was being hunted.
Yeah.
And
When
Chewbacca. And Chewie was there as well. Don't forget Chewie.
and when we saw
the
the
fact with the
Mandalorian Neo Crusader helmet in the background.
What was he doing with the
Yes,
Neo
we
Crusader
see-
helmet?
No, he wasn't doing it. He was a trophy of the Trandoshan on board their ship. Yeah, they're like a whole room of trophies, and
killed
on
him.
one of the shelves
What
there
was
was
the
a
name of the
Mandalorian
clone
Neo
captain?
Crusader.
They actually killed a Neo Crusader.
No, they probably had it from the Old Republic.
Oh,
What was the name of the clone captain that was killed on Kashyyyk by Yoda? Ree or something, right?
Gree, you mean on Kashyyyk?
Yeah.
The one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gree.
Tron had
Gree.
his helmet in his collection.
Yeah, that's also a nice Easter egg in Rebels. I enjoyed Gree's helmet over there.
I mean, Tron, Vader, Palpatine. Those were some of the best characters in Rebels. And Maul. I mean, we can't go wrong with Maul.
Oh, this was a nice one.
it was.
brother and sister reunited.
Yeah, Wrecker is like the best big brother you can have, technically. I mean, that's what they're aiming for, I think, here. I'm not so sure. I was actually hoping that he was going to smash. And not in that way, that he was going to run up and get her. or
God
something.
damn, dude, stop. Just stop.
That was accidental. I just realized what I said when I said
No,
it.
you wanna know how he should have defeated Fennec? You wanna know how he should have defeated her?
How?
You should just
Go on,
grabbed platings off the wall and just threw it at her. Like he
Darth
just
Maul
should
style.
he should just started throwing things at her. That would have worked way better.
Yeah, it's
But-
slippery down in them tunnels, man.
And he was
Sure.
hungry, so
It's more slippery than.
Yeah, there we
I
go.
can't do it.
Shrekker falls.
and then a sewer leads up into a spire for some reason.
What the fuck does
No,
that
Wrecker-
happen?
No, Wrecker's like just stay out of my sewer.
What are you doing in my sewer?
How did they did that? Like, seriously?
I don't
Like, from,
understand this. Is this meant to be? Is this meant to go make the smell go away or something?
It's just for
Maybe it's a chimney for a sewer.
I want to know
Why?
why
like
they
I
built.
said. It's like
I
I
want to
said.
know.
It's,
God dang it!
sorry.
I want to know
Best
why
not
they
to
built
overthink
that.
it.
They had extra money on the side, so they said one day,
again,
hey, let's make a roof. Let's make a chimney that leads from the sewer to the roof. Why?
Why?
I don't know. It's fun.
Why are there no
Some of them
railings?
need it.
Railings
Why
because
are
you
there no-
don't.
There's
Really, it's
never,
not for pussies.
there's never any railings from episode 1 and on. There's no railings anywhere.
Railings are for pussies.
Yeah, they never learn.
Yeah.
You guys remember watching the Star Wars Family Guy when they're complaining about the railings of the Death Star?
Remember
No,
the couch part?
Yeah, it was good. Okay, let's just move on here a bit. I wondered how the hell did she know about what to press specifically to lock it or whatever.
She's a research assistant. She knows technology.
She's a Jedi.
Because she's Omega.
Omega. It's
Maybe
all
they
Omega
made an
now.
emergency stop.
I definitely think that this spire thingy is a chimney for the sewers, so that it doesn't stink so much.
I like how all the buttons in any Star Wars anything are just buttons with lights. There's no words or lettering, no Arabesh, nothing.
And every time they know
easier to remember.
specifically what they do.
It's easier to remember to type in the combination.
And they all look exactly alike.
Well, that's
Yeah.
the point. You will never miss the code. You will never
I
get
guess
the
they
code
will-
wrong.
They just know, bro.
Must have been
That's
experiencing budget cuts.
Oh, look at this. We have a donation from the Arbeiter. He is actually one of our guys from our country. So thank you very much, mate, for €2. Is that supposed to be Monk E?
Monkey.
Oh,
It's like
donkey.
donkey.
Don't. Oh, nice. Thank you very much, mate. Hvala puno. They just said it in Serbian to him. So yeah. Okay, let's move on a bit. Yeah, we have the operation going on. This was a nice touch, kind of.
Right.
There he is. I like him.
Once they're finished, you'll be back. in time.
No, seriously,
What do you think?
have we seen this before?
I
What is
don't
this
think
droid?
so. I think it's
No.
new.
Oh,
Yeah, that is
What do you
definitely
think
new.
will happen to them? What will happen to them? Why didn't they bring them along the ship?
And why did they give him such short, stubby arms and legs? What can he do?
I think they can extend actually.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense.
That would make a lot of sense.
Did you guys
Also-
ever watch? Did you watch Buzz Lightyear, the movie, like the animated one?
Yes, he does
I've
look a
seen
lot
that
like
And
what
the
was his
TV
name?
show
R6. What was his name?
XR.
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 Yes. He does look a
Yeah.
lot like XR.
I used to
Oh,
watch that
shit.
show and the movie all the time.
That I watched that as a kid so many times. That's like really nostalgic to me. The Buzz Lightyear Rangers. What's it called again? Space Rangers.
Buzz Lightyear of Star Command.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's so.
To
good.
infinity and beyond.
Too bad they didn't have Tim Allen to voice Buzz throughout the series. Only in the movie.
Oh, I
Yeah.
very much enjoyed what's his name as the voice actor. He's in so many
Patrick
things.
Warburton.
Yes, Patrick Warburton. Anything Patrick Warburton's a part of is immediately beloved by me.
Like Kronk from The Emperor's New Groove.
Yes.
Yeah. That was a really fun movie.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yzma was always the best character, in my opinion. She was always like,
Kronk, why do you always do these stupid things when I tell you not to? But by the way, why do we even have that lever? It doesn't even go anywhere, except for a bunch of alligators.
I should really rewatch some of the old classics.
that's why I'm
Definitely.
keeping my Disney Plus account, because I love watching the classics on there. I just ignore the new stuff and just watch classics.
Well, we have other means.
You know, now this
Yes.
part of the episode really reminds me of episode 2 when they're chasing around Coruscant.
Mm.
They
And
use the
actually, what's pretty cool is when the ship crashes, he falls down just like Anakin does in Attack of the Clones, which is pretty cool. It's a really nice throwback.
and also I think they use the exact same sounds for the speeder bikes passing by as they did in episode 2.
Yeah, they did.
That was immediately noticeable.
Yeah, they just need some road rage.
And even the colors that they used of a reminder of episode 2 as well. But
Yeah. All you need to
Um,
do is just say, all you need is some power couplings, and then you're perfect.
They wanted to buy some death sticks.
This part where Hunter steals a speeder bike made me realize they don't have keys for anything. They just press buttons and think. There's no keys.
yeah,
You don't need a key for a speeder bike. You just hop on and steal it. So
some things are too simple when you look at it.
Yes,
And
it's almost
I mean,
suspicious.
they're actually adding this speeder into the Lego set of the Bad Batch shuttle, and I don't even think that we're ever going to see it again. It's probably just for this episode, and that's it. No, it's not like they're going to take it with them, and they didn't, if I remember. No such
No,
thing.
they
right?
didn't. No, they didn't take it with them.
No
Yeah,
such thing
Lego
as not-
decided to make it into the set as well. Okay, then we have this chase scene. Just gonna skip it. What do you think? Who is her master? Like, who's she working
I
for?
mean, Owens, definitely.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna say it's unknown.
I'd probably
I
say
mean,
it's
Owens
Nalase.
because who else?
It would make sense.
Only if
And
she's
plus, the
adapted.
Kim and Owens are searching for a template, so I guess they're
mean-
looking for her as well.
There could be a third party involved. You never know.
That's what I'm thinking. They're probably setting
Alright.
something up.
What's going on separately? What do you think? I mean, not all of them were wiped out. Droids were shut down by this time, but what about the planets that were separate? What do you think will we get that? The war still playing out.
I don't know. Just going through the comments right now.
I like how Omega isn't so much a Mary Sue, where she falls into this thing, figures out that there's this lever that I can pull and it'll throw Fennec Shan off the speeder.
Yeah, she's like in a panic, and then she's like, "What's that?"
And she's not immediately safe. Like she puts herself in danger, and there is like some real danger of her almost falling.
You know,
right.
I expected her to get in trouble with Hunter at the end of this episode. I kind of
It's fight
did.
or flight, actually, for Omega. You can
We're going
actually
away.
say it's fight or flight reaction.
I just like a little bit of the realism dose, where it's less plot armor. I like the less bit of plot armor. There's still a bit there because she didn't actually fall, but there's less there because she did the thing and wasn't immediately safe. Like she was in danger as well as Fennec.
Yeah.
Oh, I think we're gonna come up to the best. Yeah, here's the lever. Now it's gonna be the best scene in the entire
We lost him.
episode. If you know what I mean, guys.
Hmm.
Yeah, this here.
The guy with the earphones, with headphones.
Yeah. I already saw
That's
some
amazing.
edits that he was listening to some Jar Jar song.
I need to see that. Send me that right now.
I'm actually very jealous that I didn't make it myself. For some reason, this scene reminds me of Shark Tale with Will Smith
Probably because of the coloring.
and the music.
Oh yeah, I like how there's Coke bottle caps on the ends of his driving levers.
Well, this is a junk speed or whatever right?
Yeah,
Like a
you're right.
garbage.
You're probably right.
That's what it seems like.
Oh, is this that infamous scene with the music?
Yeah. It's already infamous, and it's a day
Yeah.
old.
Yeah,
Did
make
you see
that
some
18
guy-
hours.
Did you see some guy on YouTube actually making 10 or 20 clips a day? I was like, the fuck? Like memes. 10
I
or
don't know.
15 seconds videos. He grew crazily in like last 3 days. He got like 10,000 subscribers, over 3 million views and everything for clips that are like 10 to 15 seconds long. He takes a part of Bad Batch episode and puts something like, I have the high ground, noises in the back, or something, like memes. And he's growing crazily. And he himself says, like, the fuck did I do? Like, how?
You know,
I don't
to
know.
some degree, this does kind of feel like well, not really feel, but it kind of looks like the whole chase with Zam Wessel in episode 2.
It does.
It does.
And it's weird that we haven't mentioned her at all so far.
Yeah. I kind of had to take a minute to be like, no, this really does remind me of Zam Wessel's chase in the second movie.
Mhm.
Even the color of the speeder, green.
Yeah, all the colors generally, I think. I mean, Coruscant had, like, look at the background here, for example.
Well, I guess that's what they were trying to do, you know.
Yeah, especially
looked
with,
like-
with the sound design as well.
Yes.
Honestly, Coruscant looked a lot like Tokyo because it had all the colorful billboards and all the it had like everything. Like the city was lit up.
I like
It was
that
just
it's
gorgeous.
an homage. I like that it's an homage to what they did with the Coruscant chase scene without it overly replicating. You know, like it's a homage to the people like us who can catch it and recognize it and go, "Oh, hey, I see what they're doing."
Yeah, but at the same time, it's something completely new. Like, we've never seen such this type of city in Star Wars at all,
Yeah, it's its
especially
own
with the
thing.
towers.
I mean, look at this. Look at the shot. There's trees. There's a city in Star Wars with trees. I don't think we've seen trees. in a city.
Actually, I think now it reminds me of Corellia from Star Wars: The Old Republic MMO.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Like Axial Park, right? That's what it's called. Axial Park is like the center of the city, if I remember, of Corellia, and you also have that museum of, stuff,
Yeah.
and it also has trees and
Um,
everything.
It's what was I gonna say? I forgot. Oh yeah, now I remember. It was. I'm glad this series is delivering on everything because with what Disney's been doing, it's like blah. But with this, they're actually delivering some things that are new and unique.
Yeah.
But they're doing
Especially, yeah. Go on.
they're doing it with strokes of what we've already known, right? Like we've never been to Pantora, but we've heard about it. We've seen Chairman
Mhm.
Papa Lucas and his daughters.
Senator Chuchi as well.
Yeah, Senator Chuchi from Pantora, but we've never actually been to the planet.
Yeah. Well, we were supposed to, but never got it, and here we are now.
When you mentioned that, I think we're never gonna see Papanoida here or something like that again. But it would have been cool if he was in the episode. If did George Lucas only played him in the movie, but someone else voiced him in the series, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember the fight scene? They had very unique blaster sounds when in that firefight in the Mos Eisley Cantina, if you remember.
With Jabba.
Wait, what?
With Jabba.
Well, not specifically where Jabba was, but in Mos Eisley when they were rescuing their daughter. That was very the set design, the sound design for the blasters was very unique over there, and sadly we didn't hear that in this episode. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
think
when
so.
Greedo took his daughters captive.
These guys look like they work at a mosque, honestly, because of the hats.
Maybe.
You're just gonna.
Oh, yeah. She just threw this. That dude's dead.
Yeah, he's dead. He's dead.
She just threw
He
him.
went splat.
Definitely.
He was. No, it's like he was spread all over the ground.
Imagine the guy who has to clean that up.
Yeah, I feel bad for him.
Like another day.
Yeah, but when you remember, it's still Disney Star Wars, and he's a white male.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Look at him. Look at him in his collared shirt. That clearly
Yeah.
Privileged shirt.
privileged.
Yeah, there's clearly an implication here of some sorts.
Right there.
He has those high privileged cheekbones.
Yes, nobody's gonna
Higher
notice because
level
of the
of animation.
implication.
He has
Higher
that
level of
privileged,
animation, like
he has that privileged animation on him in CGI.
No, you know what's weird is that she threw his head into the console and then throws him out and he's screaming. I'm like, I thought he got knocked out. That's the weird thing. Like she just smacks his head on there and then just throws him out.
Yeah, it seems like she has the strength of a wrecker, in the way she throws him out. Like, don't people wear seatbelts in this universe?
They don't even have
No.
keys.
Yeah,
So-
you can get your car speeder stolen pretty easily.
When you look at it again, they don't even have those lights. Like, how do they know that they're gonna go left or right, up or down? Like, they have nothing. They just go.
We even get
It's-
Anakin talking about it in stinking Attack of the Clones whenever they're chasing Zam Wessel, and
So dangerous.
he's like, "Oh, you know, Master, I have trouble finding speeders that I like to steal. You know, with the right speed capabilities and the right color and everything." He's talking about stealing a speeder.
Why? You're a Jedi.
Jedi.
You're not supposed to do that. It's
But wait,
against the code.
It's not the
if I
Jedi
remember-
way.
Yeah.
I said it's not a Jedi way. You guys
No, he
finally
didn't
hear me.
say. He didn't say he was about to steal it. He said he was gonna find it.
Actually, that speeder has so much lore in the expanded universe. The
Yes,
yellow
that's
one.
what I was about to say, dude. It
Like,
has a whole freaking page of info on that speeder. Just like I think it's like more story on that speeder than freaking Luke Skywalker.
And they made it into a Lego set when the movie came out too.
and never
Wait,
saw
am I
it again.
breaking up? People, can you hear me clearly?
No, seriously, the speeder has a background story, and it has what happened after it. And the Wikipedia page for Anakin speeder there is probably as big as, let's say, the Bad Batches now, which is a lot for a speeder, right?
Mhm.
You guys should do a video on the speeder.
Yeah, it's gonna
maybe
be
as an-
like a 10,
maybe as an
10
April-
minute long video.
Yeah, maybe just do it as an April Fool's prank next year.
Except the ironic part would be that it's not a prank. It's actually that long, and it has a longer story than half the characters in Star Wars.
Good point.
So, yeah. Yeah, that's that privileged speeder. He deserved what he got.
You're right.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you guys heard that Dave Filoni got promoted, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or did we already talk about that? I can't remember. It's been
I
2
mean-
hours.
I mean, you already told me a couple hours ago, and I
Yeah.
kind of saw the videos earlier.
Kathleen Kennedy's still there though.
Yeah.
Time.
But honestly, even if she goes, nothing is going to change.
You know,
You know-
this really reminds me of the Blood Elves in World of Warcraft. The spires.
Yes, it does. Do you guys play WoW? Anyone in the comments, in the chat,
heard of-
whatever?
I've heard of it, but I've never got around to playing it.
Hey, I played WoW whenever it first came out.
Really? Wait,
Yeah, it was like vanilla WoW. It was cool. It was really cool.
Is it just me, or is vanilla anything always going to be the best?
I never did any of the main quests for any of my characters. I just killed things and did a whole bunch of side quests. And by the time I actually did like what you were supposed to do to further the story, like of the game, my character was like OP
level 60, huh? Already.
because I had just spent 20 levels just killing boars and doing stupid side quests.
You know,
What is
you're
with
basically
people
like
killing
Cartman.
boars?
Yes,
You're
you had to
basically
stay in
like-
it first.
Yeah. You sit in your
You just gotta
computer, you
stay.
think it matters.
Yes, you gotta just stay in the forest and start killing boars.
Yeah, awesome. Technically, when you look at it, the original trilogy is vanilla Star Wars.
Yeah.
That's what they would say when they say vanilla Star Wars, I think. But
Episode
okay.
4 mostly, but the rest of them not that much. Yo, people, can you hear me anyway?
Huh?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, but for some reason, it's always very, the volume is down.
I'm too far away. Oh, God, I might have to get up. Okay,
Yeah.
what about now?
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
better.
Yeah, it's better.
Okay,
That's good.
no more laying down.
You were laying down this whole time?
Yeah, in a chair. Having a smoke,
In a
having
chair.
a drink, of course.
Good job.
I'm just skipping this because I don't see much value in. Usually, when they make the fight scenes, it seems like there's nothing to dissect.
I mean, there wasn't really a fight scene in this episode. It was more just chase. It was more just chasing everybody around.
I didn't mind it.
Like dogs chasing their tails.
Actually, looks like they're taking the speeder, maybe.
I think it stayed behind, just like droids.
Maybe.
F in the chat for the droids, come on.
Yeah, there they are. The Buzz Lightyear droid.
F in the chat.
Wouldn't it have been great if the Buzz Lightyear droid waddled his way onto the ship? And we saw it in a later episode. That'd be fun.
Yeah, and the Gonk droid could actually have somebody to talk to.
Is
I
that
like-
Gonk?
I like that Wrecker curls the Gonk droid.
Yeah, yeah. But what's the point of the Gonk? For some reason, that Gonk droid just feels like he's supposed to be a weight lifted by Wrecker. Like he has no purpose.
No,
in the
he
ship.
doesn't.
I don't
And
think
he's-
Gonk droids have any purpose in Star Wars. They're just there to make memes
I think they're battery droids.
and to be
No,
abused.
they're actually ammo droids. Fuck.
Ammo.
Yeah,
Oh.
fuck. Give me a second. This microphone is falling out.
Oh, right, because of Battlefront 2. Now I remember.
If that's an ammo droid, then just imagine clones on the battlefield, and you have that Gonk droid going so slowly. Like,
I mean,
They're
it's
like
safer
Gonk,
than.
Gonk.
I mean, we already lost 99. So,
yeah, but
Poor
the thing
Nigel.
is, I think if you use them for ammo droids, you're dead. It's over. He's never going to reach you. How slow he is.
carry him on your back.
Okay,
Like
let's see. Oh
Chewie
yeah,
did Ripio.
just want to see if the speeder is what. They don't show it actually. So yeah, that's it on the episode. Yeah, basically.
Hmm.
Nothing special this week. So, what will happen next? Find out next time. Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Will Goku charge up his power move, or will it take him another 2 weeks or another month? Find out next time.
Yeah, I think they took the speeder. There's no speeder there.
Nope.
I think
Oh,
that's
that's
a
not the
different
same.
hangar.
Is that's the same hangar or not?
I think it's a
It,
different
it
one.
is the same hangar.
You really
Yeah.
want them to have the speeder.
No, it's simply because of the Lego set. I'm contemplating if I'm gonna get it or not. If the speeder is even worth having in the set. Yeah, someone says it's a 7 out of 10. Yeah, I kind of agree regarding this episode. But still good though, and most importantly, no identity politics. Can we all agree on that?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
I think that's like the only thing that matters to me generally, because they can't really screw it up regarding the story too much. Just keep it apolitical, and that's what I say every single time.
Yeah, and
Oh,
so
yeah.
far they've been doing that, which is pretty nice.
So yeah, 4 more episodes of headcanon added to the headcanon.
Noise.
Hmm. Let's keep the consistency going, and hopefully everything will turn out well.
I like
Yeah.
I like the design of her outfit.
I like the sky.
It fits the ship though.
It even fit the
Yeah.
speeder, the privileged guy speeder.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why she showed.
Yeah.
Another happy landing.
Another happy landing. Yeah,
Another
this
happy
is basically
landing.
on the episode. Overall, what would you say about it?
I enjoyed it. That's what matters.
Yeah, I'd say it's another good breathing episode.
Pretty enjoyable.
When you compare it to the Mandalorian series, how would you, since she's a Mandalorian character,
The
technically.
Mandalorian? Oh, that.
Not a Mandalorian character, a character
I
from
still
the
didn't
Mandalorian.
watch the show, so yeah.
She's more fleshed out here than she actually is in the show.
Well, she's a side character over there, that's for sure.
So, any thoughts on the episode overall for the closing?
I don't know.
Let's
I would-
start with thoughts, then Luke, then
Yeah.
Sci-Fi, and then I'll be the last.
I think that I would love to talk about the first episode all over again, because it's like a movie basically. That's how
I
good
mean,
it
if
Yeah.
it's just 2 hours and 10 minutes, we can do it, so no problem.
Yeah, but what I like about the 4 episodes so far is each this kind of feels like a season 1 episode, if you know what I mean. It's setting something up. Nothing too special when you watch it, but it's definitely setting something up, and all of them are so far. Like, you have the big intro at the beginning, you have a small setup in the second episode regarding Omega. In the third, you have a setup for some Imperial storylines, which I'm very much looking forward to, and I hope we see more of that. And here, probably a third party or something like that.
Yeah, it's like
You
what
know,
the sequels
I
weren't
think-
doing.
What?
Everyone talking at the same time. Nice.
What
I
happened?
think they're actually spend most of their budget on episode 1, so they will actually go slow with 2 more episodes and save it for season finale or midway. Have like a big episode.
Yeah.
Honestly,
yeah.
the show is doing exactly what the sequels aren't doing. They were going somewhere. Like, the show's actually going somewhere.
Yeah. Out of everything, what I would like to see the most in this era would definitely be some clone commanders that we haven't seen after Revenge of the Sith. You know, Bakara,
Yeah.
Neo, Cody.
I
Devis.
mean, most of them went with the Empire, though. If we get
Yeah.
the storyline
Yes,
of
but still, I would like
them
to see
actually
the
training
story.
the.
I would
Oh.
very much care to see Commander Appo.
Yeah, and get him to die in Kashyyyk. That would be perfect with the EU.
Master
would
Rowan
actually-
Shrine cuts his head off.
Remember the Vader comic where he actually asks the clone, "Do you have some orders like Order 66 for me?" The Emperor made something like that for me. Then the clone doesn't answer, and Vader just kills him by throwing him out.
Oh, that was Commander Vil.
Yeah, that was amazing. No
Yeah,
one
that
can know my
was, that was
secrets.
so good. And what I liked about that, do you guys know what he's talking about? It's the Purge comic, right?
Yeah.
When Vader asks Commander Vil, who's the successor of Appo, like if they have orders to eliminate him, and he immediately realizes that he does because he didn't say anything. And what else is nice regarding that is that they have plain white armor, and it's the 501st Legion, you know. So technically, it's 18 BBY over there. What I'd like to see is clone stormtroopers in their battalion colored armor here.
I would
if you know
actually
what I mean.
like. I would actually like for Vader's fist that they change it and still use blue markings for 501.
Well, yeah, like Trident
I would
squad,
like
for
that.
example.
I would love that. Like, just to bring
I hope they do that instead of just having them all be white immediately.
it would just be stupid. I mean, you're looking at the regular clones here. They're playing white armor. It doesn't have that Spark Clone Wars had. All of them had their own custom armor. It was part
Yeah.
of that.
I mean, it's part of the Empire that way, but I really hope that we see some leftovers of, you know, the old battalions and eventually see them simply turn into the plain white ones, like they did with the 501st in the Purge comics. In one issue, they're all blue. In the next issue, with Commander Vil being the commander, he's completely white. You can't even recognize him as a commander.
Well, I think we've already had that with the very first episode of Bad Batch, right? Because name me one clone that had any sort of colored part of their armor aside from the BB.
Camino Security Force and Shock Troopers.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
those
of
are
course.
Sure,
Coruscant
I
Guard.
named 2 legions. Goddamn. Go home.
well, yeah, but those are shock
Actually-
troopers. I'm talking about like any individual colorized markings or anything.
Camino Security Force.
No. I don't mean like a uniform. I mean like Five's armor or Tup or
We
No.
got it in episode 1 with Master. What's her name?
Commander
Doesn't-
Gray, but that
Commander
was the
Gray.
Republic still. That was the Republic, so it doesn't count, technically.
and you don't see
I
him again.
mean, there was that
Yeah.
other shock trooper, but then again, that doesn't really count either because I was gonna say it probably was Thyre, but I don't think it was.
I'm
Yeah,
actually trying to. Yep.
when the Empire came to power, they just repainted everything so fast.
Yeah, they did. Especially Camino, turning it
Mhm.
from white to gray
Seriously,
overnight.
it was amazing just to see from episode to episode Camino getting darker and darker.
Yeah, I'm actually searching for in the comics that I have, searching for the Commander Vil thing. I don't know where it's based at. It's really
I
interesting.
think it's after the clone who was left for dead by Jedi's. I think it's
Yep.
after the story. The guy with the red scar over his helmet. I think it's
Okay,
story after that.
just nah. Sorry, I can't find it. Shit. Nah, that I think that's it regarding that. Anyway, I think we're gonna wrap this up basically.
right.
There's nothing more to say regarding the episode, and I kind of got lost regarding the Bill thingy. So
No,
yeah,
it's okay.
overall, what would you guys say? Looking forward to the next one? Or-
Exactly.
Yeah,
Looking
looking
forward
forward
to
to
more
it.
high ground.
Oh, 100%.
I don't think I'm
Captain
gonna
Rex,
make it
huh?
to the next one.
I think the intensity is going to ramp up.
Especially when
Yes.
we see
From here
Cody
on.
eventually.
Yeah, I think they're going to keep increasing it, like with every episode, and then hopefully we get a really cool season finale. That's what I'm hoping for.
I
Who do you
think-
think will die
No one yet.
Oh, I, th-
Yeah.
I, think,
in the season finale?
I think they're all going to die.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Eventually, yes, but not in the first season. I think they're gonna
Maybe
keep
one
it
of
for
them.
a few more
One
seasons.
of them maybe will. They will finish off the season with one of them getting killed.
Yeah.
I think Crosshair might die, maybe. Like when they try to rescue him, he might go down eventually, but not in the first season, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Echo.
Again,
I don't know. It would be stupid because they just brought him back. You know.
You know, the thing is with Crosshair, like if they decide to bring him back to the light, I think how it will work out is they're gonna have a big fight and they're gonna try and run away, and he's probably gonna try and sacrifice himself, you know, for the rest of the game to get out of there. And that's probably how he's gonna die, if he's gonna die.
Mm.
What do you think will we get Thrawn in this show?
Thrawn.
Yeah.
I would love that, but I don't know.
It
We'll
is a
see.
time period.
Probably
I
not
think-
the first season.
I would like to see the animation style for Thrawn in the Clone Wars animation style.
It would look a lot better.
Yeah. Just imagine him with all the shades and simply he would look way more menacing than in Rebels.
Mhm.
Although at the same time, I don't know if he's a Grand Admiral in the white uniform, which would really lack.
No,
On
he
it.
actually in the comic books he got the promotion like few days before he showed up in the Rebels.
yeah, at the Battle of Baton.
Oh,
Just
so
then
that's
got-
so that's when he got the white uniform.
Yes.
Ah, damn. Then we're not gonna see that.
He was in like a grayish uniform. He had a sidekick, a guy who wanted to be a farmer, but he ended up being a ship commander at the end. And they split their paths. And Tron told him, "I'll be back with you to go explore something in unknown regions," because he sent him to Chis Ascendancy, and he told him to wait for him.
Did you guys hear about the replacement of the Yuuzhan Vong?
Wait,
With
what?
the Grisk.
Yeah, though yeah, what you
Really?
said.
I think it's stupid.
They
Yeah.
did what
When will
now?
that happen? Oh, that. That. It's
They-
boring.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
they replaced the Vong idiotically
With what?
a
with
much less
something called Strix. Is it Strix or
Grisk.
Great.
Gris?
The Grisk. They're
Eh.
much less menacing an enemy.
Here, I'm just gonna open something up for everyone to see. Just give me a second to see what they replaced, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, just gonna add some images of the Vong.
Some of the best stories Star Wars ever had.
I think the best part of the Vong was in Knights of the Old Republic when Canderous Ordo talks about them, how they found the Vong scout ship, which almost destroyed the Mandalorian cruiser, whatever.
Mhm. It was amazing just to hear and them developing like in lore for over 3,000 years, and then
Yeah.
emerging out of nowhere and almost destroying the entire galaxy.
Yeah. You also have that storyline with Darth Maul fighting a Vong.
Oh, we actually got confirmation that sequels were supposed to be what George wanted. Mal
Yeah.
was supposed to be like the Palpatine figure, and Darth, what was her name? The chick with tattoos,
Darth Talon. Darth
Darth
Talon.
Talon. Darth Talon. She was supposed to be his apprentice.
Imagine getting Kylo Ren, aka Ben Swallow, instead of Darth Talon.
Just sad.
Oh,
It's sad for so many reasons.
I mean, he's a good character. He has a potential, but Darth Talon was made with purpose. Like it was in the Grace Order, right? Rule 1.
mhm.
And she was like one of the head generals.
She was like Darth Krait's hand.
Yeah, she
Like
was,
Emperor's hand. Same
his,
thing.
his main assassin.
Yeah. By the
She-
way, this image here is Dave Filoni's, like a sketch for the Clone Wars, which was going to
Yeah.
happen. But sadly, nothing happened.
Cancelled.
Fun fact there for those of you that still play Empires at War, there is a mod out right now. I forget what it's called, but it's one of the latest produced mods, and you actually are able to fight against the Yuzhang Vong.
Really?
It's really fun.
Did you
Didn't
know
they use
about
on?
what?
Didn't the Yuzhong Vong actually turn good at the end of the war? Like they
No, they
wanted to
get
redeem
destroyed.
themselves.
Yeah,
No, they
we
actually
see
get
that-
wiped out.
we see that storyline in the Legacy comics when they're trying to use their Vong forming capabilities to, let's say, how would I say it, replenish the galaxy with, their
Yeah.
biological technology. Although it backfired because the Sith used it against them, and the galaxy was then against the Vong once again, claiming that they're at it again. Yeah, I really enjoyed the Legacy comics regarding that.
It was
stuff.
amazing. Just amazing. The idea of the race that's from another universe completely, that hates technology, comes around and destroys everything.
So
Yeah.
what
They're
exactly were
unstoppable.
they replaced with?
But they are actually fought in their timeline. In their original planet, they had like the neighboring planet that was machine-like, and they invaded them and almost destroyed Yuuzhan Vong. After they survived, they went to like safe alchemy or something like that, and barely managed to survive. Formed their spaceships that were actually organic, and went to conquer the galaxies and destroy anything that was tech-based. They would enslave galaxy after galaxy till they got to Star Wars galaxy. First into unknown regions, then into main part of the galaxy.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think that will be it. We're gonna wrap up now. It's been over
Alright.
2 hours, so yeah.
Well, I think this is a good stream.
Really?
Yeah, I think
Us
this is pretty
talking
good.
about
despite-
everything.
Go on. I didn't hear you at the end. Hey, what's happening?
Nothing. Well, looks like that's it for this one.
Okay, just gonna finish it off then.
All right.
All right, boys.
guess
I
we'll
hope
see
you all
guys next
enjoyed.
time.
Yeah,
All the best. Take care.
definitely.
See you guys.
All right, guys. Have a
Absolutely.
good one.
Yep.
All right.
Good night, guys.
Talk to you
Good
all
night.
later.